Hello, a warm welcome to New Vision TV News tonight. My name is Barbara Nyamwiza. Before we start tonight's bulletin, let's take a quick look at our headlines. In a New Vision TV News around Uganda tonight, Kayota EVs to hit the road soon. Entebbe Botanical Gardens leased out. Bangirana thrown out of office. In around East Africa, Roman Catholic asked to stop criticizing government. In our special report, we bring you the HIV self-test kits. Welcome again. My name is Barbara Nyamwiza. The Kayota electric buses, as they are popularly known, are ready to hit the road. Ugandans who use public transport are yet to use these buses, which a few years ago were just an idea among Makerere University students. As we celebrate the building of the new Kayota electric buses, 4 other buses will be built next year, Chira Motors Corporation has since revealed. These will include 2 more electric ones and 2 Euro 5 clean diesel engine buses. The journey to Uganda's becoming an automobile-making country is becoming more possible. These buses were produced by Ugandan automobile engineers under the guidance of the Chinese in China early this year. The 2 electric buses were shipped from Shanghai, China to Nakasongola, Uganda via Mombasa, Kenya. One was shipped as a fully built unit, whereas the second bus was shipped as semi-knocked down kits and has been reassembled at Luwero Industries Limited in Nakasongola. Parts of the 120-year-old Entebbe Botanical Gardens has been leased out to an investor, Mega Industries, who owns the adjacent Victoria Mall to construct a sewage management plant. The land leased out is reported to be about half an acre. When contacted about the matter, Megani Sikanda of Mega Industries confirmed acquiring a 10-year lease, which is renewable, from the National Agriculture Organization that is in charge of research that is narrow to expand the sewage system of Victoria Mall. Entebbe Botanical Gardens is just a few meters east of State House in Entebbe municipality, laid out on an acre space of 40 hectares, and that piece of land stretches over a kilometer along the scenic shores of Lake Victoria and rising inland onto a gently sloping beautiful landscape. Here, you find representation of typical tropical rainforest and wetland ecosystems which attract vast numbers of birds, reptiles and apes, making it a good destination for animal lovers as well. It is home to over 400 plant species ranging from little-known commercial timber species, indigenous fruits and medicinal plants, and the towering highly prized trees, the economically important crop species and their relatives, to a wide range of ornamentals. We spoke to a cross-section of Ugandans about this very story, and this is what they had to say. We start with Christendi de la Belle, who says, sewage treatment plant? Really? 120 years of disrespect to the residents of Entebbe. We also have Mary Tukahira, who says, oh dear, Botanical Garden deserves the purpose of preserving identified and named tree species and provides a learning area for students. It also provides a cool environment for recreation. We have Ochiti Wilfred, who says, this is the first time I'm disagreeing with the government. Where will our coming generation get to know what it means to have a botanical garden? Now, we shall destroy various tree species and our children will suffer since some of those trees are medicinal. Government, please do us a favor and spare the mighty botanical garden. And finally, we have Tony Okello, who says, sewage at the Botanical Gardens? What the hell is going on in Uganda? In my news around Uganda, we have High Court in Kampala ordering Senior Police Officer Geoffrey Bangirana to vacate office of the Director, Engineering and Logistics in the Uganda Police Force. In the result, a temporary injunction shall be issued restraining Bangirana from holding out as a serving Assistant Inspector General Police, AIGP, and from acting as Director of Engineering and Logistics. The injunction order will remain in force until determination of the main suit or further orders of this court as ruled out by Justice Henrietta Bolayo. The Civil Division of the High Court Deputy Head observed that Bangirana does not have a valid contract of employment duly executed by an instrument, yet he continues to hold out as an Assistant Inspector General Police, and this may bring the police force into disrepute, thereby causing irreparable damage, the judge noted. However, the judge declined to issue orders restraining the police authority from renewing the contract of the police boss. Regarding the prayer for a temporary injunction to restrain the Uganda Police Authority from renewal of Bangirana's contract, this prayer is without legal basis, as the police authority cannot be restrained in the performance of its lawful duties, Justice Henrietta Bolayo said. We head to Mikono now, where the Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Vincent Sempija, has shown dismay following the different poor post-harvest handling methods by the farmers, which are affecting the quality of Uganda's agriculture products on both the local and international markets. Sempija said though the minister and his ministry have over the decades sensitized farmers on how to effectively handle their agriculture produce after harvesting to maintain their quality, many of them have refused to adhere to the expertise. He was on Thursday launching the 7 cute seed color sorter machine for the Gromo Seeds Company located at Mbarara in Nama Sub-County, Mikono District. In the Western District of Kakumiro, over 500 residents in Chibijo Sub-County have been left homeless and in dire need of support after a rainstorm ravaged several villages, leaving property and crops destroyed. The hailstorm, which occurred yesterday from 4 p.m., affected 5 villages of Sazike A and B, Nakasagazi, Buchumbi, and Kakora villages, all in Kibijo Sub-County in Kakumiro District. The chairperson LC1, Sazike A, Moses Balinda, said the most affected crops and properties include cassava, beans, banana plantations, birds, and semi-permanent houses. Other buildings that were destroyed include Kibijo Church, Buchumbi Primary School, among others. Mary Tuhaise, a widow of 5 children, said her children survived death when the iron sheets of her house were blown off due to strong winds. She asked Kakumiro District Production Department and government to render the necessary assistance that she needs and the others. Back to the city now. City businesswoman Maria Prosi Namanje has been fined a shillings 30 million by the Standards Utility Court after she pleaded guilty to 5 counts of dealing in counterfeit products. Namanje, popularly known as Auntie Lususu, on Friday pleaded guilty to the charges before Buganda Road Court Grade 1 Magistrate Marion Mangeni. Uganda National Bureau of Standards, UNBS, Senior Legal Officer Caroline Agonzibwa informed court that they had since entered into a plea bargaining with Namanje for a non-custodial sentence. Agonzibwa revealed to court that Namanje has been selling products that contain hydroquinone in addition to illegal use of the UNBS quality mark. Hydroquinone is a depigmenting agent that is used to lighten areas of darkened skin, such as the freckles, age spots, chloasma, and melasma caused by pregnancy, birth control pills, hormonal medicine, or injury to the skin. Is around East Africa. We start with Tanzania, where the country's Arts and Information Minister, Harrison Mwachembe, has dismissed a new song by rapper Roma Mukatoliki, which criticizes the government, saying the musician lacks the academic credentials to question state policies. Roma, whose real name is Ibrahim Musa, is known for his political activism in his new song, also called Anaitwa Roma, Swahili for They Call Him Roma. In it, he lambasts the government's decision last year to deploy the army to buy cashew nuts from farmers as a way of trying to force middlemen to increase their prices. The policy, critics say, did not work. On to Kenya. Two Kenyan brothers are among 7 individuals wanted by the International Criminal Police Organization, also known as Interpol. Nicholas Muweni, 44, and Samuel Bakari, 29, are wanted in connection to dumping hazardous waste, illegal lodging and logging, and ivory smuggling. The two have been on Interpol red notices since 2016. They landed on the red notice after port officials in Thailand seized 3,227 kilograms of ivory valued at 567 million shillings. The ivory was being shipped in a container labeled as tea leaves. Break right now and return with more news. Welcome from the break. You're still watching New Vision TV News. My name is Barbara Nyamwiza. We get into a matters business right about now.
In business tonight, heads of state, ministers, policymakers, prominent business leaders, investors, and entrepreneurs from Africa are descending on Dubai for the Global Business Forum, GBF, Africa 2019, which officially kicked off today. Held under the theme Scale Up Africa, the 5th edition of the 2-day forum is organized by Dubai Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Dubai Chamber, under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President, Prime Minister, and ruler of Dubai. GBF Africa 2019 is the largest event of its kind in the region, focusing on Africa's vast economic potential and exploring new avenues of cooperation between the United Arab Emirates businesses and their African counterparts. The high-level forum comes at a time when Dubai is stepping up efforts to forge global partnerships and attract businesses and investors from around the world. This year, the forum puts the spotlight on promising startups that are driving business growth in Africa and examines the important role of cross-border cooperation in supporting the continent's economic growth and development. Another highlight is the GBF Mentorship Program, as GBF Africa 2019 provides an opportunity for the startup finalists from the United Arab Emirates and Africa will have an opportunity to showcase their businesses and connect with potential investors and business partners at the forum. In a ministerial declaration issued Friday at the closing of the 17th Ordinary Session of the African Ministerial Conference on the Environment, African governments agreed to make the conference the forum for making regional environment policies with effective mechanisms for implementation. Held under the theme Taking Action for Environmental Sustainability and Prosperity in Africa, the conference focused on the need for African countries to take practical action, including implementation of policies, relevant regional and global frameworks in order for the continent to attain environmental sustainability and prosperity and achieve the Sustainable Development Goals and Africa's Agenda 2063. Ministers have also committed to continue taking concrete actions to address environmental challenges and climate actions to unlock inclusive wealth creation that safeguards the socio-economic well-being of Africa. They reiterated their support in aligning African Ministerial Conference on Environment to global efforts, especially through the United Nations Environment Assembly, the highest global environmental decision-making body.
Thank you, Lynn Komjisha. In our special report, we bring you a story in the run-up to the World AIDS Day that is commemorated every 1st of December. And this year's theme is Communities Make the Difference, in recognition of the essential role they play in response to the virus at the local, national and international levels. In a special feature today, you no longer need to prick your finger or draw blood from your body to test for HIV. Uganda has endorsed a new self-test kit that will enable one test for HIV anywhere outside a health facility. And let's look at how this kit solved a problem the fear of visiting the health centers for testing had brought to many people.
Several countries are considering introducing regulated over-the-counter HIV tests. In July 2012, the US Federal Drug Administration approved a rapid HIV test kit for sale to the public. However, while the Ugandan government is keen to have more people know their HIV status, just 45% of men and 66% of women have ever been tested and received their results, according to the latest AIDS indicator survey. Elvis Basude defines what this HIV test kit is.
You no longer need to prick your finger or draw blood from your body to test for HIV. Self-testing, like the word self implies, you test yourself. Okay? This is a method that was introduced by the Ministry of Health. It is an oral HIV self-kit. It's a kit, and the purpose to complement the existing testing. Okay? So in a nutshell, when you talk about self-testing, it means that you test yourself by using a self-test kit.
All you need to do is to press the flat pad of a test kit or device firmly against your gum. Thereafter, you'll move the test stick along the lower and upper gums once. Then, you'll place the test device in a tube and wait for 20 minutes. But why is the test done in the gums? The gums are rich in antibodies produced by people living with HIV. The gums of people living with HIV, according to health experts, are rich in antibodies produced by the virus. Antibodies are proteins made by one's body to attack foreign substances such as viruses and bacteria. The HIV antibodies are not available in saliva, and it is not required for the test. Elvis tells us when the kit shows that you are either positive or negative, with the difference in the number of red lines shown in the kit.
You make sure that you've not eaten anything before you go for this kind of test. Otherwise, that whatever you have put in your stomach might antagonize and, interfere with this kind of test. So make sure that you've not eaten anything before you go for this kind of test.
And when should the test be done? The test should be performed 15 minutes before eating or 20 minutes before using mouth-cleaning products. The results should not be read 40 minutes after the test has been performed, because they would be invalid. An estimated 1.4 million Ugandans are living with HIV/AIDS. Information from the ministry shows that the number of clients seeking HIV testing services at health facilities is still the lowest among men and adolescents. The HIV prevalence rate is 6.2%, down from 7.3%. It is less than a month to 2020, when Uganda is expected to bring the HIV/AIDS epidemic under control. The country also expects to end the disease as a public health threat by 2030. The kit, according to the Health Ministry, was assessed by the World Health Organization on the possibility of its HIV-positive results triggering social harm on patients and accuracy, among others, and it passed the test.
You press a flat, it's called a flat pad on a test stick or any kind of device. Again, it's your gum. You know what a gum is. So after you have done that, you swab the test stick along the lower and upper gum. You do that once. After you have done that, then you place the test device in a tube. After you have done that, you wait for 20 minutes. After the 20 minutes have expired, you will see some red lines. If the red lines appear on the test stick, then there are higher chances that you're HIV positive. Now, if only one line appears on the stick, then there are chances that you are negative.
The cost of a single device meant for one person is between 23,000 shillings and 25,000 shillings in various pharmacies. However, it is free in public health facilities. The accuracy of the OraQuick device is estimated at 99.6%. The ministry said the devices have been introduced in health facilities in all districts in Uganda. Self-testing has proved to be feasible and highly acceptable as an alternative HIV testing method in Uganda, especially among the most at-risk individuals. People can use these kits without dire consequences. It also showed that 7 in 10 men enrolled and accepted to know their HIV status using the antibody self-testing kit.
In science of HIV/AIDS, this is what we call false positive and false negative. Okay? False positive is when you are given positive results when they are false, like the word implies. It means you are not necessarily positive. And false negative would mean that the results are negative, but actually they are not negative, they could be positive. That's what it means. On both occasions, you need to go and get what we call a confirmatory test.
It was also established that in the majority of the cases, instead of causing harm like fights, separations, suicide, and blame game, the self-test kit strengthened relationships and promoted disclosure among couples. Women were able to know about their men's HIV status, which they did not know before. However, there were few cases where there was separation. Nevertheless, self-testing could lead to potential cooperation between partners.
Well, that's all we had time for tonight. Thank you so much for watching us. New Vision TV News comes live to you every day on our website. That's www.newvision.co.ug. We're also live on Facebook at The New Vision. Do follow our conversations always, also on Twitter at The New Vision Wire. I'll leave you with tonight's facts file and have a great night.